entitled as City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight, we're on to week 2 of the NFL season. We got a good one on tap, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Green Bay Packers.
Brendan McManus to kick off for Green Bay.
After a great first week of football, what does week 2 have in store? The Commanders and the Packers underway on Thursday night primetime. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Come on.
Right to the air is Daniels. That's Samuel, caught left side. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Ready, break.
They run for the first time with Justice Hill. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
It's complete to Brown, right side. That's good for a 1st down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Here we go.
And they'll try to run the option here. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. And that'll go for a gain of 18 on the keeper. 1st down.
Washington, 1st down. 1st and
Let's go
10
now.
at the 15-yard line.
They'll run straight ahead with Hill. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
2nd down and 8.
Ready.
Slot man moves right. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. Oh, that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss. Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You can see and feel the disappointment on that one because you saw some guys on the sidelines jumping up going, oh, no. Looked like they had that one set up well on 3rd down. But you got to give yourself time to get rid of the football.
Gay's kick is good. And it's 3-0 Washington. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating 1st downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 1st downs and 3 points.
At their own 18-yard line.
Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18.
Black Ultra. Ready.
Love, they go play action now. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trey Amos. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought He had first-round ability, but when he was available on draft night, that was where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
Throwing now is Daniels. Over the middle here to Brown. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. It's got to be so tough having the ball in the middle of the field like that, knowing that a linebacker is just waiting to make a big tackle like we just saw.
No doubt about it, because offense coordinators love to call plays to send receivers into the middle of the field. And linebackers, they want to naturally discourage those plays from being called.
And he's going to have a Commanders first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 of the 9-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Throwing quickly, that's caught by Brown out wide. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll score. Touchdown, Commanders. Terry McLaurin, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Commanders are able to stretch out their lead. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
To kick off for Washington.
Gay now set to kick it off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
Their own 33-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. This now a 3rd and 4.
It's now 3rd and 4.
Love wants to shift things around. They're going to look to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Jacobs. And he's going to have the Packers first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. The Packers had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener, and they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these 2 probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Throwing. Love. And this one's incomplete.
Intended for Romeo Dobbs. Incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Here we go. Ready.
To throw now. Here's Love. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
Ready.
Going back to Love. And that is is incomplete.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
2nd and 10.
Here we go. 33, yellow. Ready?
To pass, here's Jordan Love. That's complete. He finds Jayden Reed.
On the ball.
They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down.
3rd down and 9.
Smash, red, steel, black. Cut.
Now Love. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Love going to stay out there. They'll take a chance on 4th down.
Ready, needle blue, drill red, 30 green jack, slide blue, blue striker, hut, hut.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
50 series.
Packers 1st down.
Ready.
Here's Jacobs. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jayden Reed from 6 yards away. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. McManus's point after is good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7.
Packers 7. Brendan McManus to kick off for Green Bay.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well.
Right side, it's Hamler pulling it in. So 8 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go. Working out of the gun, Daniels. He'll go up top here for Hamler. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Washington. KJ Hamler, 59 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes the return. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was to the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. We'll get this up to about the 44.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now 2nd and 5.
Down. Set.
Off the play fake, Love. Musgrave's got it outright. Short completion, just 4 yards. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. Love, he's going to change the play here.
3rd and 2.
Trying to run forward with Jacobs. And Jacobs, I don't think is going to get there. No, it appears they're going to mark him short of the first. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. On 4th down, the Packers call on Daniel Whelan to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive, as they've got it 1st and 10.
Ready up.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the 2nd quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead.
That's good for a first down.
Now Daniels. Now he's going to step up and run. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And complete to Zach Ertz. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Finding Ertz again. And he's brought down. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock. Up the middle, it's Hill. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports.
Matt Gay to kick off for Washington.
A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. A solid stiff arm. And able to get this out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
At the 42-yard line.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 41-yard line.
Ready.
Love now. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Aiming for Jacobs. He's got him. Wheeling it in on the out route. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 40.
And the Packers first down. First and 10.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Love. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Let's go now. 52 blue. Set.
On 3rd down, Lloyd. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
That's another Packers.
Love looking to throw it. And he overshot in there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Let's go. Hut.
Here's Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4. Now Love going to change things up. Now they'll change things around before the snap.
Green jack. Claws red.
From the gun on 3rd down. Love. Hard throw, incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. They will throw again here with Jordan Love. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. From the 35, here's 2nd and 4. And McLaurin, the motion man right. Oh, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
No big surprise, Micah Parsons doing what he does so well, dropping him for a loss.
Come on, come on. Hey,
here's Daniels. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
I would describe the way that he's played today as mature. He's already moved on mentally from that incompletion, and he's more than ready to throw his next pass downfield.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. To throw is Daniels. He'll try and do this himself. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete. On fourth down, the Commanders send out Matt Gay to try the field goal. And Gay knocks this one through. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something that was built on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense. Gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
Watch out now. 52. 10 cycle. Red, yellow. Set.
Love, they go play action now. Completed out left to Downs. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Again, it's Love. They'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Josh Jacobs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So here we go. The Packers will line up to go for 2.
Ready, ready.
Love throwing for it. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful.
The score, Commanders 20, Packers 13.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
The Commanders take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Jesus, second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
Indeed means action.
Exactly.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. In motion right, that's Hamler. Now Daniels going to give it up on the touch pass. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
And he takes it in for the Commanders' touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Commanders are on their way to a 2-0 start. Well, Charles, he's still a young single caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a terrific return as they finally do stop him, but not before he's inside the 15.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
Ready.
Throwing. Love. Right side to Watson. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Love wants to shift things around.
Makes it 3rd and 8.
Set.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
2 yards.
4th down now after a loss of 2.
Needle blue. Hut.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Touchdown, Packers! Tucker Kraft from 13 yards out. And the Packers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Extra point from McManus is good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Commanders 27, Packers 20. Brendan McManus to kick off for Green Bay.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Ready up.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Ready.
Daniels looking to throw. Well, throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
That's to McCaffrey, complete. Oh, what a juke into space. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards.
1st and goal.
So
Washington.
1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Jaden Daniels. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead now up to 14.
Commanders 34, Packers 20. Matt Gay to kick off for Washington.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. To pass. Here's Jordan Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. Only able to gain a couple there. And it'll be second down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8 at the 18-yard line.
Ready.
Love going to give it up on the touch pass. And he's able to get up here to the 26.
17.
To throw now. Here's Love. Short throw to Musgrave.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and it passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A gain of 12 yards.
Let's go.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
10 at the 48-yard line.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now Love. Over the middle, complete. It's Jenkins. This one is stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Love, he's going to change the play here.
At the 44-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Love. And that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Ready.
Love looking to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. They'll come up. 1st and 10 here. Not liking the look. They'll change the play.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Ready.
Love. That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
He was defended by
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can. And they've used him in the passing game to great effect so far, and here they get it to him again on the screen, and it turns into a nice positive play.
Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big 3rd down. Looking deep here for Dobbs. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Quan Martin. And the Commanders are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Here we go. Here we go.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Come on. Set. 60 Eagles. 60 Eagles.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That first down going to be enough to write a finish to this one. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth.
60 Vikings. 60 Vikings.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Open man is Samuel, complete. Breaks through the contact. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. They'll go with Hill here on first down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. So it's Washington getting the victory here. And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.